Even with the modernization of the world, some countries are still struggling economically. The role of women in these nations has just been reduced to bearing children and taking care of the household, and they're rarely given any other opportunities. Young women are sold by their families for a small amount of money. They have no choice but to wait for a foreign man who can pay their bride price and give them a better life. In one of the countries, you can even buy a bride for less than $40. Let's explore 10 countries in the world where brides are for sale. Number 10. Bulgaria. There is a bride market in Bulgaria where young and teenage girls are sold to potential husbands. The place is originally known as the Gypsy Bride Market in the town of Stara Zagora in Bulgaria. On the first Saturday of Orthodox Christian Lent, people of the Kalderash community come together to celebrate with dance, music, food, and, obviously, young brides for sale. The young women are presented with heavy makeup, beautiful outfits, and old jewelry. Their mothers also accompany them, and they are proud that their daughters have come of age to carry on the community's traditions. The Kalderash have followed this practice for generations, and even today, they engage in complex negotiations on the bride price. The bride price may go up or down, depending on how beautiful the woman is. For example, a young lady with colored eyes fetches a higher price than those with brown eyes. The virginity of a woman is also a key factor in the negotiations. Virgin women are much more expensive and are even better treated by the families that buy them for their sons. On average, the cost of a Bulgarian bride can be somewhere between $7,500 to $11,300. But more expensive brides can cost up to over $20,000 too. Traditionally, families only allowed their daughters to marry men within their community. But with access to phones and the internet, this trend has started to change. Much like other Bulgarian women, these ladies from the Kalderash community are also looking for foreign men to marry. Bulgarian women might seem a little uptight at the beginning of a relationship, but once the man gets to know them better, they see that these women are reliable and trustworthy partners. They are not afraid to show their emotions, unlike the majority of Western women. They believe that in a healthy relationship, both partners should be able to freely show their emotions. They're also open to new experiences, which makes them easy to approach. They are great at family parties and love spending time with the people closest to them. Even though Bulgarian women consider men to be the main providers for their families, they are not materialistic at all. They are generally more interested in men who would love and cherish them. Bulgarian women have typical European features in terms of appearance and the way they carry themselves. They take good care of their bodies and skin to preserve their beautiful looks. Even dressed casually, they look perfect with their natural charm. Number 9. China. There are some serious problems for women in China. The country's one-child policy gave rise to the birth of a lot of boys. Parents wanted male children who could support them later in life, and young girls and women felt unwanted in society. The policy was revised in recent years, but the damage had already been done. More men and fewer women in the country also led to parents of brides asking for tremendous amounts of money for the hand of their daughters. On average, the bride price is somewhere around $20,000, but in some provinces, it can go up to $50,000. The concept of shengnu, or leftover women, further added to the problem of unmarried women. Ladies over the age of 27 are considered to be too old in China, which leads to a limited number of suitors for them. Chinese women who value higher education or their careers over starting a family are often left alone, shunned by their own society. These ladies had nowhere else to go, so they turned towards dating platforms in hopes of finding a husband from abroad. As a result, the number of Chinese women marrying foreigners has skyrocketed over the years. In 2021, 549 ladies married men from outside China in Shanghai alone. Most of these marriages have been very successful too. Chinese women are very loyal and dedicated to their partners. This is reflected in the rate of divorces, which stands at only 0.2%. They are caring and go above and beyond to preserve their families. The reason for the popularity of Chinese women can be explained by the fact that they are usually brought up as great caretakers. Foreign men who are raised in traditional families often view Western women as self-oriented. Women from China, on the other hand, are much more conservative, which makes them ideal partners for men looking for traditional wives. And obviously, there is also the fascination with the exotic beauty of Asian women. Even celebrities have spoken up on why they prefer Chinese women over Western ones. Rupert Murdoch was married to Wendy Deng for almost 14 years. Hugh Grant married Ting-Lan Hong, and Quentin "Rampage" Jackson has been very vocal about his Asian partners. According to him, they understood when he wanted to train, and when he wanted to rest, they were accommodating and supportive of his career. Women he dated from the United States, on the other hand, wanted him to put their needs before his own. Do you think Chinese women are beautiful? Tell us in the comments. Number 8. Malaysia. The archipelagic nation in Southeast Asia is home to some of the most beautiful women in the world. Men looking for lasting relationships that can lead to marriage can safely consider Malaysian mail-order brides. These ladies are not only beautiful and loyal, but they are also very shy and gentle at the same time. Women from Malaysia have the perfect combination of good looks and lively personalities. They also know how to have fun and are not too touchy if their men spend a lot of time outside. Generally, Malaysian brides are of medium or short height. They have straight, dark hair, brown eyes, and sun-kissed skin. They love taking care of themselves and even manage to look good while doing chores around the house. Malaysian women with Chinese heritage, especially, are very open-minded and fascinated with men from Western countries. However, pure Malay women tend to be a bit more conservative, and they value tradition highly. Regardless of that, they are great homemakers and take good care of their family's financial situation. While some women do want to pursue their careers, they are perfectly fine with letting their husbands take charge too. Mail-order bride services have started to offer paid solutions to their members, making it easier for men to buy wives online. Some of the most popular websites are very trusted, with thousands of happy customers. In many ways, these platforms are like popular dating apps, such as Tinder, where both parties participate in the matchmaking process of their own will. Premium subscriptions on these platforms can cost around $500. People planning to visit Malaysia to meet their potential wife can spend up to $2,000 on the trip. There are many reasons for Malaysian women to look abroad in search of husbands. There are several ethnicities living under the dome of the Malaysian government, and some of them are more disadvantaged than others. Many women come from relatively poor backgrounds, and their only chance for a better life is to look for husbands abroad. Gender inequality is another big factor. These young women want to be treated with respect by their husbands, and they hope that husbands from abroad will value and cherish them above all. Have you visited Malaysia? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 7. Egypt. Egyptian brides are extremely popular in the international dating scene. People who appreciate Muslim culture and are looking for exotic Arab beauty turn toward the land of the pharaohs. The women here look as if they came out of a lovely painting. They have dark hair, brown or light-colored eyes, thick brows, full lips, and mesmerizing looks. Young women in Egypt looking for husbands usually don't even have to use makeup to attract suitors. And even if they do, they prefer putting on blue eyeshadows, just like Cleopatra used to. Apart from their looks, these women are loyal, kind, and passionate. They make phenomenal housewives, ensuring their families feel comfortable all the time. They're also easygoing and well-mannered, preferring to resolve disputes calmly. Despite their soothing personalities, they are great at parties and can uplift the spirits of any setting. Foreign men usually find them easy to talk to and non-judgmental. There are many reasons why women in Egypt prefer to tie the knot with a Western man. The society in the country is largely patriarchal, so women are often taken for granted and denied many opportunities. Many of these local women are also forced into marriages without their consent. Most Egyptians live below the poverty line. Families often have too many children and not enough means to support them. It became a custom for rich, older men from the Arabian Gulf to come to Egypt and buy brides decades younger than them. Fathers often force their daughters into these marriages to slightly improve their living conditions. On average, the families of these young women are paid around $2,000. Even though there are laws that protect young women in the country, there are ways around them. Most of the time, Arab men are rich enough to pay off any taxes or legal fees for a young bride. Usually, these men look for temporary wives during their business trips to Egypt. After a couple of months, they divorce these young ladies and return to their permanent wives. Young women in Egypt are now looking toward the West to find husbands who can love and understand them. They know that Western men are more attentive, respectful, and affectionate. Like most women, they too want to feel special, and looking abroad for potential partners is often their only source of hope. Number 6. Latvia. Latvia is a country with a much higher population of women compared to men. On top of that, the quality of life is pretty low compared to first world countries. Women's rights are also almost non-existent in the Baltic states, so there are a lot of cases of domestic violence and abuse. Latvian women would prefer moving abroad with husbands who value them rather than living under such conditions. Women in the country are well known for their natural beauty. Most of them take great care of their bodies, have flawless skin, and dress extremely well. They are also mostly either blonde or brown-haired, with long and luscious locks. Latvian women are some of the tallest in the world, so they are perfect for people looking for partners with the stature of a supermodel. Despite the low quality of life, Latvia has a very high level of education. This makes the women here smart, broad-minded, and progressive. Even then, they are devoted to their families and would go out of their way to make sure their partners feel valued and loved. Statistically speaking, people who have found a Latvian bride have been largely successful in long-term relationships. Almost 85% of the women making themselves available on mail-order bride websites are serious about finding a foreign husband. In 2023, 650 fiancé visas were approved for Latvian women. The best part? The average age of Latvian women looking to get hitched is 26. Mail-order brides from Latvia can cost around $4,000 to $6,000. This includes subscriptions to dating apps, plane tickets, visas, food, and hotels. Number 5. India. India is arguably one of the most culturally and ethnically diverse places in the world. People can easily find the women of their dreams, and the best part is that these ladies are more than willing to settle with a foreign husband. According to estimates, around 2/3 of women in India marry men from abroad. They are very loyal to their husbands, and cases of divorce are rare. Almost 60% of modern Indian wives stay in their first marriage. The fertility rate in India is also one of the highest in the world, with more than 2 children per woman. Much like in China, women in their mid-20s are considered too old in India, so the prospect of them finding good husbands in their country is slim. They are extremely well educated and fluent in English, but even then, the employment rate for women in urban areas is less than 10%. Better employment opportunities in other countries are another reason why women in India so often choose to settle with a foreign husband. There is also a lot of discrimination in the country against women. A staggering 87% of adult Indians believe that wives should unconditionally obey their husbands. Many women in India are sold into marriage against their will. The cost varies from region to region, but in some cases, brides can be bought for as low as $35. Traditional arranged marriages are still a thing in India, but modern women have been breaking away from them. Cross-cultural unions are being accepted in Indian families, and mail-order brides are starting to gain traction. Subscriptions, along with a 2-week trip to India, generally cost around $3,000 on average. Indian women can have fair or brown skin, along with long, dark hair and big, beautiful eyes. Their dazzling beauty is sure to leave everyone mesmerized. They are like a Bollywood movie coming to life, with their breathtaking dance moves and their ability to carry themselves in enchanting traditional dresses. What are your thoughts on women from India? Tell us in the comments. Number 4. South Africa. Bride buying has been a long and storied tradition in South Africa for generations. Locally, it is known as lobola, where the man looking to marry a woman has to pay the family. Traditionally, cattle were used as payment, as they were seen as a sign of wealth in South Africa. However, with modernization, men now pay in cash to buy wives for themselves. During the negotiations for the bride price, the value is still sometimes set against the number of cattle, but the payment is made in cash, according to the market price of the cattle. The bride price may depend on several factors, such as the woman's age, height, and overall beauty. Families of the bride usually ask for around $7,000 as lobola. Most young women in the country are married off by their fathers by the time they turn 22. This leaves a lot of women in their mid to late 20s without a partner. Like most developing countries, there are also not many opportunities available for women in South Africa. As a result, they would rather settle abroad with husbands who can give them a stable life. There are obviously a large number of ebony beauties in the country, but there are also white South African women willing to move out of country. Life has never been too convenient for these ladies, and they are used to overcoming obstacles. This gives them their signature adventurous spirits, along with the ability to adapt to any situation. Even with all life has thrown at them, women from South Africa are generous and open-minded. They are welcoming to new people, and at the same time, they are great at preserving bonds with their families. South African women are more than willing to take on the traditional role of a wife, as long as their husbands value them. What do you think of this tradition? Share your thoughts below. Number 3. Afghanistan. Being a traditional Islamic state, matchmaking and wedding proposals in Afghanistan are generally conducted by the families of the man and woman looking to get hitched. While the man might have some say in the process, the woman is usually just told that she is being married off. The father or older brother of the Afghan bride is responsible for making most of the decisions. Wedding negotiations are a lengthy process, and they include deciding the bride price, venue, catering, and other such details. The bride price is the main topic of contention during negotiations, and it is decided based on the woman's age, beauty, education, and skills, along with the reputation of her family. On average, the bride price in Afghanistan is around $10,000. However, it can be slightly lower in rural areas. The women don't even receive a single penny of the bride price. Instead, the family uses the money for themselves. This is just one example of how women are deprived of their rights in Afghanistan. There are widespread cases of domestic violence, and employment for women is almost unheard of in the country. On top of that, Afghanistan has faced decades of war and terrorism, which have made living conditions far from ideal, especially for women. Despite these struggles, Afghan women are great at fulfilling their role as homemakers and can be passionate lovers. Even though they may seem shy and conservative, they still dream of finding a husband who can take them away from their war-torn country. Number 2. Vietnam. While Vietnam may not be the first country that comes to mind when looking for Asian brides, it is extremely popular among Western men. Almost 1,800 Vietnamese women entered the United States in 2019 alone on fiancé visas. The cost of offline dating in Vietnam can range between $800 to $2,000, including tickets, hotels, and restaurants. There are many reasons why men show a high preference for marrying Vietnamese women. They are highly responsible and can work to support the family financially while also looking after their homes. They are very flexible and understanding when it comes to conflicts, and they are known to make compromises for their husbands. The most interesting thing about these ladies is that they prefer men who are 5 to 10 years older than them. Mature men are seen as more financially and emotionally stable, which is ideal for starting a happy family. The concept of family is very important to Vietnamese women, and most of them want to have children. These women do not lack in the looks department either. They have snow-white skin, perfectly toned slim bodies, dark shiny hair, and delicate facial features. Vietnamese women love dressing up and looking good for potential partners. They are particularly careful about their personal hygiene, which is why cosmetic and skincare products are widely popular in the country. Vietnam has a complicated history with Western countries, and as a result, most Vietnamese women are interested in learning more about Western culture. Marrying a man from abroad is the easiest way for them to experience this. That doesn't mean they aren't loyal. Vietnamese women have strong cultural values and are devoted partners. In fact, they are very well educated. According to a 2021 report by Global Data, the female literacy rate in the country was 98.87%. They can be intelligent partners, capable of engaging in conversations on a variety of topics. Number 1. South Korea. South Korea has a huge problem with declining birth rates. The women in South Korea are refusing to get married or have children with men in their country. Men, on the other hand, have turned to buying brides from countries like Vietnam or China. However, some men living in rural parts of the country can't even afford to pay the bride prices for foreign wives. So the government had to step in and finance their marriages to save the nation's dwindling population. There are many reasons for the conflict between men and women in South Korea. Film and media in the country tend to make South Korean men seem more appealing than they actually are. Faced with reality, men often feel insecure and attack women on online forums. This gave rise to several feminist movements across South Korea. However, the biggest contributor to this gender war is digital sex crimes. In 2018, almost 2,300 cases were reported. By 2021, this number had skyrocketed to over 10,000. Women were filmed without their consent, or their photos were hacked and leaked by disgruntled ex-boyfriends. Even though South Korean women may have given up on settling with men from their country, they haven't given up on marriage altogether. A few decades ago, they rarely married foreigners, but that has changed. Even South Korean parents think it's better for their daughters to marry men from abroad. The country has become very welcoming to foreigners lately, giving women a chance to interact with Western men. There has also been a huge boost in the popularity of international dating websites. Women sign up for these services in search of husbands who can respect them and treat them as equals. Subscriptions for these platforms cost around $1,500. If someone wants to visit their potential partner, a trip to South Korea can cost over $6,000. The women in South Korea are nothing short of real-life dolls. They have large eyes, soft light skin, and well-toned bodies. They spend thousands of dollars every year on beauty products and cosmetics to maintain their looks. Even with Western influences, South Korean women can be shy and reserved. At the same time, they are funny, helpful, and kind. They are very well educated and make perfect partners for anyone looking for an exciting mix of exotic, sensual, and traditional. That's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the screen for more content like this. See you in the next one.